Hey, this is JD, also known as S3 Prototype, here at RTX 2015. I'm here with Mr. Darin Ross. Sir, how are you?
Great, thanks. How you doing?
So, Mr. Darin Ross over here is the godfather of Super Fight.
Yeah, that's right. You want anybody killed? Oh, God, we probably shouldn't say that on your podcast, but yeah, I'm the creator of Super Fight.
1 year ago, we were here at 2014 RTX. Sold out Saturday morning. What is different from last year that you've got this year?
We've got a few new products in the lineup, and we brought a lot more cards this time after learning. Last time it was just me, and I drove everything out here in a van from California, so I filled it top to bottom, front to back, and then sold out of all those. And partnering with Skybound, the creators of The Walking Dead, got me a bigger van, so they got pallets of stuff now, so it's going pretty quickly. And now we've got the Walking Dead deck, the anime deck, which weirdly enough,
it's killing.
There's overlap between RTX fandom and anime. Who would have thought? But yeah, that's killing it in there. So
when did those packs get released?
Oh wow, they launched at Anime Expo right before Comic-Con, which is the last time I saw you, and then we launched Walking Dead and the Challenge deck at Comic-Con San Diego.
Those are unique in their own compared to the rest of the decks that you had. Specifically like Walking Dead, that's a brand there.
Yeah.
Is there any titles or special decks that you want to make?
Oh god, yeah, all of them. I mean, anybody who's got intellectual property, I want. And so I don't know if we've talked about this, but on the panel in San Diego, I announced my plans to make a Gilmore Girls expansion for Super Fight. Because it kept coming up. It came up on Twitch's Geek and Sundry stream, which I love. Everybody should be watching Geek and Sundry also. And I was making the joke, I was on there that I'm gonna make a Gilmore Girls expansion. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a Gilmore Girls expansion. I wanna see Luke Danes fight Kirk. You know, Captain Kirk, not Kirk, although it could also be Kirk from Gilmore Girls. He's had a lot of jobs. He can do a lot of things. So Marvel, DC obviously are the ones we'll eventually be working on, but in between here and there, Gilmore Girls is next.
I was thinking a lot of guys, when we play this at a local bar in Houston. Nice. The card that usually kills all the time was a bear.
It used to be a bear.
Used to be a bear, yeah. That one kills everyone. I was thinking, man, what if you made an Origins deck?
Yeah, dude, that's not a bad idea. Can we cut, Terry? You need to sign this NDA. That was my idea, not yours. Yeah, that would be a cool one. Somebody on Facebook this morning. Oh God, it wasn't Facebook because I don't use that. It was something else. It was something.
MySpace?
Yeah, it was MySpace. It was on their live journal. They posted they had used to be a bear and they throw bears. So there was this really conflicted character, or not conflicted, just super pissed at his origin story. I don't know.
Just throwing Bernstein bears at each other.
Throwing his former family. Now you're ammo instead of my brother.
Super Fight has taken pretty much everything by storm. You're in this year's swag bag as well.
Yep.
You were in last year. I think that was key for you, that you had one card in every bag and everyone wanted the whole game.
That's how we learned to drop things in bags, man. People, I could drop something in there saying, hey, come to booth 550 and like, give me your birth certificate, and I'm just gonna keep them. People go like, okay, it's in the bag. So I'm gonna go do it. So people were coming up all year last year. What is this? Oh, this goes to this game. Okay, I'll buy that game so this card actually means something to me. Like, all right, yeah, $35, thanks. So, but yeah, that was a very good promotional opportunity for us, and obviously RTX's stuff plugs in really well to Super Fight because they imagine the Reds and the Blues fighting bear throwing former bears, so it works.
I keep wanting to talk about expansions and stuff, but other than Super Fight, what other things are under your sleeve that you have?
Next up is my second game. I've got 3 more games coming out. The second one is Red Flags, which is same kind of feel as Super Fight, except we're all sitting around a table. I'll use the name Amanda because that's what I used in my video. You, me, and Amanda are sitting here. You and I are trying to make a date for Amanda using all the white cards are good things. They're a doctor. They own a winery. You know, stuff that we think Amanda's into, we try to make a date for. And then we each have to, after you make your character, we each have to take a red flag. So the doctor owns a winery. but like he's on death row, or you know, you've got a famous rapper if she's into rap and like loves dogs, but you know, he's super racist or something. Just things that are like, oh man, now that is a terrible person and I don't want to date them.
Wait, is the dog racist or he's racist?
Dog is speciesist. And yeah, no, the date is, and then Amanda has to pick her poison, and so that one I'm excited for. That one is all comedy. Super Fight, there's funny stuff, but it's also, there's serious Iron Man and blah blah blah. The Red Flags is all just terrible, imagining terrible relationships.
Everything you can imagine from the worst date after learning about what they're not into.
Yeah, keeps hitting on your mom, just all the just terrible. And it started off there, I was writing all these cards and I was like, oh, you know, backseat driver, reads over your shoulder. And then by the time the writing was done, backseat driver and reads over your shoulder, they got just worked by the terrible, terrible things that came up later as we wrote worse and worse cards. So it can be really funny.
It sounds like an OkCupid's worst nightmare.
Yeah, totally. Actually, I did a lot of my research on OkCupid, looking at profiles and just being like, all right, just reading some really terrible profiles and being like, yeah, that's a red flag. Everything you just said is a red flag.
Now, it sounds like you're poisoning that for just the girl getting the date. Is there a vice versa for the male date, or?
It's all of the cards, you know, it's gender fluid, so it's all of the cards are men, women, however people identify or whatever they're into. It's for everybody. It definitely, as opposed to Super Fight, in popularity is skewing female, because it's just, I think, something that women have to deal with way more than we have to. We're not as picky as women. We just, you know, whereas women have to deal with terrible, terrible, terrible men all the time in the dating scene. And so having it happen as a comedic thing is so far testing very well. So
presents, of course, excluded.
Company included, 100%. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the red flags that you just put my biography on some of those cards. I wouldn't date me, ever, 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 ever.
You seem like a nice guy. But I don't go that way.
It's the filter on the camera.
So you got one more game coming out. You said you have two more, or you're not obliged to?
Third one is an app. The fourth one is the first of my more serious games. Okay. Because it was the one I was developing before Super Fight, and Super Fight was easier to get out, and so starting to establish myself as an actual game developer rather than, you know, just a guy who threw words on cards. So the fourth one is it's a complicated game, so it's going to be really good.
It's still on the grindstone right now.
It is, yeah. It's in final like play testing. We've been hammering it out for years, but it's a new mechanic that nobody's ever done before, and it's going to do really well, I think. So I can't wait for it.
Were you ever thinking about bringing Super Fight as an app-wise or an Xbox Live game?
It's in development by Pipeworks 505, people who did Payday. Yeah, they're making the mobile app right now. We had it at Comic-Con in the background of stuff, the live stuff we were doing, but the mobile app wasn't ready yet. But it's gorgeous. It's all polished, and like the cards like jump into the air and like fire blast each other. It's amazing what those guys are doing over there.
Is there an ETA for that release, or?
They say by the holidays. So a lot of the code stuff is behind them now, as they were able to get, they had it where the winner was chosen by tweets. And so I think a lot of the heavy lifting's done. It's now into like the network side of things, and getting it so, you know, you and I could fight each other.
It's been a pleasure seeing you here again at RTX. You know, it's funny because like I saw you at PAX.
Every single convention ever I run into you, so.
So where can people find you and all the games and everything where we can buy your stuff?
The best single landing page for all of that information would be my personal site, which is featherandmatch.com. So.
All right, appreciate it, man. It's good seeing you again.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much.